does food impact your mental health? I'm Jessica Go, trauma coach in childhood abuse, and I'm also a detox specialist. And it's important to stay informed and not be ignorant to what's being bombarded with the latest information around the fad diets, supplements, eating meat to get all these vitamins. You need to stay sovereign when you are constantly being advertised with getting a vax, getting medication because of this. But really, this is mankind's doing of creating confusion through intellect. And I work with so many clients over the world through trauma recovery and quantum health healing that diet is one of the key factors that needs to be changed for you to feel supported in your mental health. You see, the food that you eat gives you a certain energy that can either raise your consciousness or reduces it, and that dictates your self-esteem. Let me give you an example. If you eat raw, organic, fresh fruits and vegetables like a juicy mango, cherries, peaches, nectarines, pineapples, and watermelons, how does that sound to you when it comes to your taste buds? It lights you up with the flavonoids in these fruits. Eating a healthy salad, you feel good about yourself, right? And there's a reason for that. Because fruits and vegetables contain high levels of consciousness, which is a high level of energy, which feeds your consciousness and your energy, as well as your body's needs. And you might be thinking, oh, but fruits and vegetables are not enough for me to get by. That's not true. That is a fallacy that mankind has indoctrinated to you through meat, through dairy, through bread. And all of these things are not designed for human consumption. In fact, by design, we were meant to just be frugivores, eating fruits only, because that's how God has created us. He wanted us to live in a tropical island, and that's how we first live in this human form, because that is our heaven on earth. Being by the beach, enjoying the lifestyle and being in nature, and eating all of the fresh fruits, and swimming and immersing ourselves into salt water, the ocean. This is what gives us a more alkaline ash state of living. The sun, yes, is acidic and is corrosive and strong, and so we can only handle it in certain doses. Otherwise you get burnt, right? That's the effect of acid. So when you consume a diet that is full of acids, such as meat, dairy, gluten, that clogs up the body. It slows down the healing process. It slows down your kidneys to eliminate. It slows down the lymphatic system to move the waste around. And what does that do? That leads to what the medical industry calls diseases and illnesses that cannot be treated, cured, and healed of. And that is not true. That is also another fallacy that we've been fed into. And so they use medication, chemotherapy, which is high in acid, to treat a highly acidic patient. When someone is highly acidic, they do not need any more acids in their body. That will make them even more acidic, which can lead to death and all sorts of other diseases. That is a label that mankind has created. What you want to do is to move into a more alkaline diet, a more alkaline way of being and living. You know, if you are holding on to past memories of trauma, negative emotions, anger, grief, shame, guilt, disappointment, resentment, negative thoughts in your head, that creates an acidic environment for your body. And that energetically leads to physical manifestations of symptoms of acidosis. So I always tell my clients, cut out sugar. And I'm not talking about sugars from fruits. I'm talking about processed sugars like lollies, chocolates, sugars that you put in coffee. Cut out caffeine. Caffeine, cacao, coffee, chocolate, sugars, that creates a spike in your anxiety. You know that jittery feeling where you can't sit still, and then that energy wears off and you need another hit of chocolate, coffee, cacao to get you going? You're playing with your nervous system, you're playing with your adrenals. And when the adrenals are overworked, you're in this fight and flight mode. You're playing with your nervous system. You don't want to do that. You want balance with what's going on inside of you so you can function properly, so you can have concentration and focus without feeling jittery and anxious all the time. And a lot of our anxiety comes from overworked, poor performing adrenal glands, which controls the kidney organs. And the kidneys are controlling our elimination process. If we're not eliminating properly, we are clogging up our bodies with more acids, more waste. And that's what you don't need if you want to protect your mental health. That's just another thing you're fighting with that is draining your energy. Sluggish elimination system. And when you have a sluggish elimination system, that creates all sorts of symptoms from acidosis. The other thing is, how can you be in control of trauma? What sort of foods that feeds trauma? Low energy foods, or foods that has no energy basically, such as eating meat. If you've done your research how meat and seafood are being killed and slaughtered, you would not want to touch that meat. You are taking on their suffering, you are taking on the hormones and antibiotics that has been injected into them, and you are also subscribing to a low level of consciousness how animals are being killed through gas chambers, through electrocution, through slaughtering of other species like dolphins, and seeing them as pests when it's just a fallacy. And this happens in front of children, seeing animals being slaughtered. Imagine the amount of trauma that they're witnessing and taking on when this is done open in public. So be very conscious in what you eat, because what you eat creates your consciousness. What you eat gives you high energy or low energy. Depression comes from the parathyroid. The parathyroid gland regulates the moods, the steroids in our body, the hormones that we produce, and that helps to alkalize our systems so we can function properly. So if you understand how the chemistry works in life, in your body, in your environment, in what you eat, you will never have to suffer ever again. So if you are ready to dive deep with me, how you can empower and educate yourself to break free from your healing crisis, then you might want to learn more in my free webinar by clicking on the link below, and it will bring you to a different page for you to join me and to register for this amazing event. It will knock your socks off. If you find this video powerful, imagine what the webinar will do for you and how you can take control back into your life. And remember to share this with your loved ones who are suffering in silence right now, especially those who have taken the COVID vaccine and going through the side effects and the implications of it right now. I'll be sharing more information around that in the webinar as well. It's time to reclaim your life and take back your personal power. And if you got something out of this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the button, the subscribe button, then the bell icon, then the all button, so you don't miss the latest notifications around content in moving into quantum health, childhood abuse, and my healing activations, which are for free, by the way. And you can connect with me on Facebook and Insta at Life in Confidence. So, my love, it's time for you to move forward with trust.